All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Real South Africa. We always have a lot to show you, a lot to give you. We find so many different things here in South Africa that are absolutely enjoyable. We have ran across an African American that's here right now who has started a hotel. It's called the Days House. Check him out. And then also a young lady, she's from Botswana, but she's here, and her name is Thato Jessica. She is amazing. She sings. She's an architect. She's a jack of all trades. So again, follow us, and of course, like and subscribe, and let everybody know that, hey, South Africa is a great, lovely destination, as we are as well. And let's go after it.
Days House's first Sundays are events based in Observatory Johannesburg. Happening this afternoon, you'll get to experience live music featuring Langa Mavuso, Spa Mdlalose, Zano, Thato Jessica, and Vivacious DJ alongside Ostebza. Now, this concept was created as a platform to connect with people in an intimate setup while enjoying good music, food, and drinks. For more on what we can expect this afternoon, we chat to the producer and owner of the hotel, Gabriel Leavell, as well as artist Spa Mdlalose. It's great to have you both on Morning Live. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, let's start with you, Gabriel. How did this concept even come about, and how did you go about sort of designing the concept or deciding what it is you want this event to become?
Well, Days House, first and foremost, is a hotel. And so we're a boutique hotel in Observatory. It's a concept that came after a long time of just doing a lot of different things. So I'm actually from America, having retail stores and working in just different industries. I wanted to create a safe space throughout Africa, and Johannesburg was the perfect spot to start this.
Now, there's a lot that happens in Johannesburg, though. Lots of events, lots of concerts, lots of music festivals, lots of, just a lot.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate from what you're trying to create here with?
I think the interesting thing is, for me personally, especially living in New York the last 10 years, it's been interesting trying to find a particular type of vibe. And I've always looked for something a little more calm, a little more steady, and just want to have a progressive, intimate space that people can feel fulfilled from, not hungover.
For Gabriel, how often will these gatherings be happening, and are there any plans in place to expand it or take it to other places outside of Observatory Johannesburg?
Yeah, so we will always be hosting a lot of different events. We have paint and sip events, we have different curated galleries, and we will be releasing lots of different things. We hope to one day partner with different event spaces and expand it. But right now we really are focused on the intimacy of creating a community within Days House.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, it is Latasha Blanton with The Real South Africa, and today I have the opportunity to be at Days House. The information will be at the bottom of the screen. If this is your first time watching, thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if it's not your first time, also just share and make sure everyone knows that we exist. Today I am talking to Gabriel. Say your last name for me. Leavell. So I'm just going to let him tell you his story. He's also an American.
Yep.
So he also is in South Africa full time, but his resume is extremely long as well, and I'm excited for him to tell you his story. So Gabe, please tell us your story.
Sure. So my name is Gabriel Leavell. I've been in South Africa for about 2 years now. I started, originally from a small town, actually the Boeing. I'm actually not originally from Seattle.
Okay.
So now that I'm talking to Americans, I actually have to
give them like
the real
yeah.
I'm actually from north of Seattle. I'm from Everett, Washington.
Oh, okay.
Which is the town of where all the Boeing planes are manufactured. So growing up in that town, I ended up moving to New York about 10 years ago.
Wow.
I've been an entrepreneur since I was a kid. So from clothing brands to coffee shops to whatever, honestly, I've kind of just touched in everything. And essentially, I mean, after doing real estate investment for a while and doing Airbnbs and things like that throughout the United States, then some in Mexico City, Thailand, I wanted to come to South Africa. And when I did, I'd already started planning on doing a kind of a new concept of a boutique hotel, Airbnb type of experience. But it was the point was to actually encompass all the different creative things I love and put it under one brand. So when I came here for vacation, I ended up loving it and realizing that I could actually start a whole movement here. So that's where the Days House was born. So Days House essentially is a boutique hotel brand that's focused on experience and Africanism and a contemporary view of what Africa has to offer. So each of our rooms is inspired by a different country throughout Africa in the current contemporary landscape. We also then trade with those countries, with local artisans from those countries to actually allow you to take a piece home with you. So we want to create our own little small ecosystem. And the goal is to open them up all across Africa to then represent each country throughout Africa.
So, that's a lot of information, but the one thing I want you guys to make sure you picked up on is that he came here on vacation and fell in love. That is what the Real South Africa does. We encourage you to come on a visit. And on that visit, you will see enough stuff with the way our packages are put together for you to decide, just like he did after a visit, that, hey, this is a marketplace filled with opportunities. And he found a space that he could fit in. And there's a lot of times where you can make a space. Spaces where you can flourish, and that's not something that we can always do in the States. A lot of us that are entrepreneurs from the United States understand how difficult it is to do certain things. And a lot of times the support that we need as entrepreneurs in the U.S. is not there. But you will find that support in South Africa.
There's also too much red tape, right? There's so much red tape in America. If I wanted to do a project like this, it would be exponentially more expensive with all these different lawyers and different stakeholders, whereas I just wanted to have free reins over what I wanted to do. And as somebody who's traveled a bunch, I think at this point I've been to over 60, 70 countries, something like that. An important thing for me was always to look at where I wanted to live.
Absolutely.
I knew, coming from a small place in America, then to moving to one of the best cities in America, I'm going to say.
New York.
New York but it's its own world.
It
so
is.
After that, I'm like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
How do I give back to home? So, out of all those places that I visited, spent time in, and I'll stay at a place for a month, 2 months.
For sure. Because you got to try it out.
Absolutely. When I came here, immediately.
Exactly.
Immediately. And I was like, how can I make my life work in South Africa?
And that's the funny part about it. I mean, people don't always believe us when we say when you get here, you know. It's not something that takes a little bit of time. You know immediately, which you basically start to do. I don't know if you did this, but we just started to come back and forth an awful lot. And then it was
1 year in New York, 3 months here.
Yes.
And then I guess I officially have to do this.
It's I'm spending all of my vacation time in South Africa. I might as well just be in South Africa. So that's kind of the pathway. So just keep those things in mind when you're you really want to move. Obviously, he went through the visa process just like you have to. It's not an overnight process. It is an actual process. The country has its own steps and things you have to go through. But he was able to create this amazing space called the Days House. It is available to you if you want a boutique, customized experience. It is part of our packages if you decide that you want to do that, or we can design one that's specifically for you. So just keep that in mind. The information will be at the bottom of the in the description of this video. But we are honored to be friends with him. We've been trying to get at him for quite a while, so we're just happy that in his busy schedule, because if the architect has her hands in everything, he's got his own body and everything. And you know I'm right. You know I'm right. I do know I'm right. He does a lot of things, but he's doing a lot of good for the continent. He invests in the people here in South Africa. He understands that the best way to invest is to actually be here amongst the people, and he has chosen to do that, just like we've chosen to do. So it's not a situation where you can sit back and come up with theories about how you can make things work. You have to come here and actually figure out how everything works. We've got apparatuses in place for you to absolutely do that. So keep those things in mind. Gabe is a plethora of knowledge. He knows a lot of things. There's a lot of people, and we have access to him. So just keep that in mind as we are building our team and our network, that if you decide to come on a trip with us and you decide that you want to make South Africa your home full time, you also will have those types of access. So just know that the network here is growing and you have the opportunity to be a part of it. Is there anything that you want them to know specifically before we kind of wrap things up about South Africa?
Honestly, just get here. I mean, it really, honestly, that's the biggest thing.
That's all I always say. I'm like, you gotta get here.
And the thing is that no amount of videos, no amount of explaining, no amount of testimonials will ever give you the feeling that happens the minute you step foot on soil in South Africa, specifically for me even. And I think that the community here is very strong, and we're all here to help each other.
Absolutely.
And for me, it's about building the bridge between America and Africa, and how can we help each other and coexist in these spaces and make sure that we're looking out for each other. So I'm always available and here to work with you guys, and just here and happy to be a part of it, honestly.
And we are just as honored. I mean, to find another person on the continent that is very like-minded, like we are, meaning that we're trying to build that bridge. We're trying to, be a part of the community. We're trying to give back to the communities that we live in. Just to meet someone who's on the same page as us just excites us even more. That means we're able to collaborate even more, come up with more ideas. The ideas that we've been able to just kind of throw out just in regular conversation, you guys will eventually find out later. But we've got a lot of things that we're going to be working on together. So just hold tight and just understand that, we're not in Africa or South Africa to be stagnant. We are here to grow, and we are inviting you to grow with us. So when you get the opportunity, book that trip, info at therealsouthafrica.com, and as he said, get here.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Keeping in line with all that South Africa offers, take a listen to Thato Jessica up next.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, coming to you live on SABC3 this wonderful Friday afternoon. Now, Thato Jessica discovered her love for poetry and hip-hop at the tender age of 15. And by 17, she became the only female vocalist of the six-piece hip-hop group Excalibur. She is now carving out a career as a solo artist, and her latest single, titled Problem, earned her an award for the Best Female Singer at the Yorona FM Music Awards in February this year.
Listen, I don't wanna fight, but it's looking like tonight we about to throw down. Like royalty with no crown, it's a problem. Houston, we got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. We got a little problem.
Yes, Thato Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jamie, thank you.
I mean, what's so amazing is how absolutely fierce you are in your music video. And in real life, you are this tiny little angel. You are an angel.
Everybody's like, you're so small. I'm like,
I know. It's good. It means you're just
you.
going to age well and then be petite and gorgeous your whole life.
Thank you.
So your career started when you were really, really very young.
Yes.
And I'm always in such admiration of people like you, because I think one of the most difficult things in the world to do must be to write poetry. So, I mean, you must have had so many thoughts and so much going on in your mind from such a young age. What inspired that? Like, what was that story like?
I think growing up as an only child for like 10 to 12 years, that fueled a lot of the things that I do now because, you know, just being alone, you experience so much. And, you know, I was just that loner child growing up. So I think I had a lot of things to think about. Because, I mean, Beyonce is like up there.
But your voice is exceptional.
Thank you.
Do you have to, like, I know Alicia Keys and Beyonce and all of them, and Mariah Carey especially, go on like vocal breaks where they won't speak to anyone for a week. Do you do like any particular exercises and vocal warm-ups or anything just to create that power in your voice?
You know what? I actually want to learn how to do that because I feel like I'm sometimes too casual. I'm that kind of a person who likes to sing out of emotion. So like the whole technical part of it, I still have to learn. Right now, I'm still singing from my heart and just emotion.
Oh, well, we absolutely love all the emotion that comes out in your voice. So you're going to be performing for us a little bit later. What are you going to be singing?
I am going to be performing Problem.
Nice. Houston, we got a problem. Yeah, well, that's why I'm not a singer. Thank you so much for being here. We've loved having you this gorgeous Friday afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, this is Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa, and if this is your first video watching, thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if it's not your first video with us, as always, we like to bring you things that are real about South Africa. And today I had the opportunity of filming here at the Days House, which you'll have information more about when you see the description at the bottom of this video. But today, the reason why I'm so excited is because I got to meet a young lady who is 27 years old doing some amazing things for the Days House. I'm going to let her introduce herself, tell you what she does and where she's from.
Hi everyone, my name is Thato Jessica, and I am basically a creative, a designer, an architect, singer, songwriter, all-around creative. And at Days House, I am currently doing renovations for their kitchen, the conference space, a little bit of the decking, poolside, landscaping, so just fingers everywhere.
So you were basically redesigning the space all from your creative mind, as you like to say.
I would like to say 50% because the person that I work with is very particular on what they want. So yeah, that's.
But you are basically.
Yes, I'm doing most of the designs and the plans and the landscaping.
And just out of curiosity, what makes you interested in doing architecture? Like that's not something that women normally get into. Like where did that come from?
Yeah, I think I've always known that I wanted to get into the creative space and I just didn't know where. I fell in love with architecture because my uncle was a construction engineer.
Oh wow.
So I was quite close to him and then he's like, oh, you should try architecture. Then I discovered, oh, there's a creative engineering course. And that's how I ended up doing architecture and I love it now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You also mentioned that you sing. Did you sing before you became an architect? Like, how did that? Or you've always been singing?
I've always been
a
singer.
Out singing?
Yeah. Basically, my mom always says, you know, when she was expecting me, she would always sing all the time, and it made sense when I was born. She's like, oh, you're the reason. So yeah, I've always loved singing. I mean, since I was 16.
So do you write as well?
Yes.
So you write your own songs?
I write my own songs.
Do you play any instruments?
Not yet. I want to learn the keys. A little bit of guitar. I wouldn't say it's like to a professional level.
I understand.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like the keys.
So singer, songwriter, architect. What else should I add to your resume?
Designer. I do a bit of graphics design. So just say creative. It just puts everything in one box. It
doesn't. Don't put yourself in a box.
Okay.
But that is the box. If we had to choose one, we would put her in the creative box. So I am excited simply because you are so young and doing what you're doing, and it is important for people to know that people like you exist.
Yeah.
Now tell me about home.
Home is Motswana. I'm originally from a small town called Francistown. I grew up in Gaborone, if you guys know Motswana. Yeah, very humble place, very chilled people. I love how, everybody's so welcoming. You only see it after you leave that, oh wow, home is actually homey. I love the people, I love the energy. It was a little slow for me, but going back home is always great. I'm a very farm-oriented person. Like my whole family is a farming family, and obviously that gets you into it. So that's what I like about home.
So, if your whole family's a farming family, do I add farmer to your resume as well?
God. I guess, but I think it's just something that I've picked up because my mom was so passionate about it, and I was like, oh, okay, let me learn from her. Some of these things just rub off of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you had a pretty well-rounded environment. I mean, to be able to grow up and say, I can farm, I can sing, I can, I don't know, graphic design, be an architect, so that you really feel like there's nothing that you can't do.
Definitely.
No, I appreciate that. That's something that people need to know. So I am honored to talk to you today, and I want everyone to know that I'm not sure if Thato's a freelancer, but
yes.
She's a freelancer. Anyone needs an architect out there in Joburg, or if you're in America and you're thinking you want to build your own house, because there are tons of you that are looking at lots to build houses, Thato Jessica, because you got to say both of her names, will be available to you, and her information will also be at the bottom of this video. So thank you for taking the time to watch. We hope to see you all in South Africa soon. If you have not yet booked a trip, you know how to contact us, info@therealsouthafrica.com. All other questions, please go to outreach@therealsouthafrica.com. And once again, we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things The Real South Africa. Thanks again.